everyone, Lexi here. Today I want to bring up the topic of overwhelm. I made a video last year in my real life series about an experience I had where I started to feel overwhelmed and how I walked myself back through the underlying fear of those overwhelming feelings. And today I want to bring to you a simpler way that we can let go of overwhelm and what I do now when I feel it, because my overwhelm is minor now. It's not as overwhelming and terrifying and anxiety ridden as it used to be when I did that video a year ago. So what is overwhelm? Overwhelm is simply what we feel when we try to control and manage the unmanageable. We as humans are always trying to control our experience. And yes, fear is a huge underlying factor. What would happen if we didn't control things, if we didn't stay on top of things, if we didn't manage our lives? We're told that everything could fall apart. We could spin out into the chaotic unknown. And that's really it. It's unknown. What happens when we let go of controlling and managing? We can come back to living in the present moment. We can come back to connecting with our hearts. We come back to being in our essence, that harmonious, that peaceful, that joyous place of being. That's what happens when we decide to let go of things that overwhelm us. Whether it's too many things we're actually taking on, physical tasks, or whether it's just that overlying heaviness, that tension, that feeling that we need to control and keep on top of, even our emotions, other people, all those things in our lives. So I had some overwhelm come in this last week. I started homeschooling my children this year, and I really wanted to. I still want to. I have a lot of fun with it, and yet it has triggered and brought up a bit of uncomfortable emotions for me. It's interesting when you take on the job of your child's education and try to manage them and control the experience and what you're going to do for your day. It's very easy to suddenly start getting overwhelmed. And for me, I jumped into it not even realizing that I was trying to control and manage way too much. It's not our jobs. It is not our jobs. I'm finding even when homeschooling the kids, which really seems like it is my job to make sure that they are okay, it's still not really my job. I willingly took it on for a little bit before I realized, okay, these feelings of overwhelm do not feel better. I don't want to be stressed. It just makes everyone else stressed. It makes my kids stressed. Even my husband noticed that I was feeling a bit overwhelmed. I was getting a little bit of complaining. I had a little bit of, what's the word? Not pushiness, but just a little bit of controlling. I was trying to control certain things that everybody in the house was doing or wasn't doing. And he noticed that tension come in a bit, and everyone had to, jump in and kind of remind me and say, hey, we can see you're feeling overwhelmed. Can you go take care of this? Because we don't want to have that energy in the house. So what do I do now? So there's not a tremendous anxiety or underlying fear for me now. My overwhelm is actually really short-lived when it happens. I do recognize it right away, and I am willing to let it go. So one thing you can do when you start to feel the overwhelm and the tension creep into your life, go outside. Go outside. Being outside slows you down. It grounds your energy. It brings you back into your body and into your heart. When we feel the tension of everything we're trying to control and manage, give it up. I literally close my eyes and I ask the universe to take care of the details for me. I recognize that it is not my job to manage or control anyone else or even the details of my own life. It is my job to stay in the present moment, everyone's job really, to stay in the present moment, to do what feels better to you in the moment, and allow the universe to take care of all the details. Our helpers, whether you call them guides, angels, God, our helpers are there to help us, and not enough of us allow that help in. We take on the task of controlling, managing, making sure we have everything figured out for the future, even if it's just for that evening or the next day. We take charge of this as if we have to make something happen for everything to be okay. And that simply isn't true. When we take on these jobs that aren't ours, we start to feel overwhelmed. So I go outside, I take a deep breath, and I ask the universe, my helpers, to take care of the details for me. And I sit there and I just breathe and I listen to the sounds of the birds or the breeze. I put my feet on the ground and I allow the earth energy to come up through my feet, and I allow my divine light to come down through my head into my body to ground me. And I just sit with it. I sit with it and I allow my energy to come back to a harmonious state. And I'm able to do this with ease now when I recognize it. It used to be that there was a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety behind my overwhelm that I had to feel through first. And if you want more guidance in that area, you can go check out my real life series video called From Overwhelm to Allowing, a step-by-step guide. And that can help you if you're starting to feel or recognize that you have more fear and anxiety underneath the overwhelm that isn't as easily let go. But that's what we can all do, guys. Come out to nature. Come out to nature and decide that it is not your job. Let yourself off the hook. Let yourself off the hook. Maybe everyone else tells you you have to manage things. You have to be on top of things. You know, us parents tend to think that we're responsible for our kids. And since I jumped into this journey of homeschooling, I definitely took that on a bit. You know, it's been a bit of a journey of taking it on and letting it go, taking it on and letting it go. And my kids remind me, they help me to see, like, hey mom, they tell me, hey mom, I know what I'm doing, let me do it. This isn't where I want to go right now. This isn't what I want to do. Stop trying to figure it all out for me. And then I get to make the choice to trust them and their own wisdom and let it go. And I tell you, when I let it go, oh, do I feel so much better. You feel the relief come in. You feel that peace come in. You feel that space for a deeper breath. And the overwhelm dissolves. It dissolves. Sometimes I just take on too many tasks, you know. With homeschooling the kids, I also wanted to do my volunteer work, and I want to still take my art classes, and I want to still do my business. But when I look at it, in reality, it's too much. It gets overwhelming to have too many things going on. So my kids were my first priority. I wanted to homeschool them. I love it. That's what we're doing. And my business is my second. And then I squeeze some, you know, crafts and arts in here and there when I can, but I had to let go of my volunteering. It wasn't easy. I really, really love my volunteering, and I will do it again when the time feels right and I have more space for that. But I had to let something go. And that's something also to look at in your life. How many things are you really trying to do? I mean, if you add cleaning the house to all of that and running the errands, yes, I was getting quite overwhelmed. So I could either hire help or I could let go of something and be able to easily do these tasks on my own. Now, thankfully, I have kids, so I have some help. I'm not completely on my own, and they're very good at vacuuming and cleaning bathrooms, and that's awesome. So when we feel overwhelmed, we're just trying to control and manage the unmanageable, and we don't have to. I'm giving you permission to let yourself off the hook, to let it go, and be. Just be who you are. Be who we all are. Live our life from our hearts and in the present moment. What do you want to do right now? What feels better to you right now? Maybe that means instead of making dinner for the family, you go lay out in the backyard in the hammock. Allow everyone else to make a sandwich. Make something simple. You don't have to be on top of it all. Feel the deep, peaceful breath, the energy coming into your body, into your lungs, grounding you to the earth, connecting you up to the heavens, and know that we are light, we are calm, and we are love.